Oh, hey there, guys. It's my favorite time. We have a brand new project I'm going to show you guys for the first time. It is right on the other side of this garage door. We're about to open it up and have a huge premiere. Roll my intro. All right, guys, here we go. Time for a big intro. I'm gonna hit the button, the garage door is gonna go up, and you're gonna see my next project. Ready? This is my 2008 Ford Expedition. I'd like to keep the camera back as far as I can because this is the best it's going to look in this video. You're going to see as we get closer and closer why I got such a good deal on it. I did purchase this vehicle on Facebook Marketplace. I found it fairly close. It was just in Ohio, so I didn't have to take too long a trek to pick it up. But let's do a quick walk around. I'll show you the quirks and features, things that are going to be an issue, things maybe I've just found, and maybe I'll even discover some new things when I'm looking close with you. All right, guys, so let's start a walk around here and see what we can find on this beautiful black Ford Expedition. Well, I think the smartest way for me to do a walk around to this vehicle is just to move really quickly and stay back a little bit so you guys think I'm a genius. Just to give you a little bit of transaction information so far, my initial investment in this truck was $8,000. May seem like a lot when you start looking at it close, but the high side is it does only have 75 some thousand miles. I don't remember exactly. We'll show you the odometer here in a minute. But for a 2008, 75,000 miles seemed like a really good bargain for me for only $8,000. Now, let's not pretend it's perfect though. Let's take a little closer look here. Little closer. Little closer. Yikes. As you can see, I'm not sure what happened to the paint on this car. For having such low mileage especially. And the mileage does check out. I did a Carfax on it and I've checked its whole history. It's regularly been reported and it stayed right in line. But my guess, and I'm not a paint guy, not a body guy, I don't know anything about this stuff really, but my guess is this aluminum hood probably was not treated correctly before it was painted by Ford originally, because there is no excuse for it to peel like that. And this is just the beginning. It gets worse. Also, I think it's interesting that this Ford logo has obviously seen better days. It is actually like disconnected, like it's a bubble I can push down on it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it is discolored, popped up, disconnected, not cool. Not cool at all. As you can see also on this grill, I don't know if somebody tried to paint this black or if that was black originally, but that stuff is all coming off also. This car came from up Cleveland way, so I'm guessing it's experienced a lot of salt in its life. And when I show you the deterioration under it, I also estimate that it's probably spent a lot of time sitting on gravel or something that's caused it to deteriorate much more than any car I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. The guy that had it before me was obviously crazy about little LED lights, and I can't even get these to work or find the switch, but they're very strange. It's almost like they're made out of rock or marble or something. But they were right there on this little front grille. Those are definitely going to come off. Also, these driving lights, you can see they had like a little halo around them. And once again, don't know how that works or where it is, but none of this stuff works. Let's continue our walk around here. These wheels, they are very small for this truck. I actually already purchased another set of wheels. They're not here at Hoopty headquarters. They're actually sitting over at the garage at my house, so I can't show you those right now. But we're definitely going to put a different wheel on there. We'll debut that later on. One thing to look at here, this brake caliper. I can't believe how corroded it is. Very rusty. So we'll have to figure out some way to make those look better. Rust is definitely a theme on this vehicle. Also, the paint just all over. I'm probably gonna have to paint the whole thing. You can see some chips right here, and these might buff out, but we'll let my paint correction guy figure that out. There's some scratches there, there's a scratch there. It did have a red pinstripe. We'll probably delete that also. You can see it's actually deleted itself forward of right here. There's a line where it actually used to be there. It's just not there anymore. The Expedition logo, the black is actually coming off of. I mean, stuff like that, I guess because I've never owned a lot of older cars most of my life, I've always been a new car guy. It just amazes me that a 2008, this logo is deteriorated. But like I said, it kind of goes along with the rest of the whole car. There's a pretty big scratch right there. It's not very deep. It may be one that can buff out also. One of the things I hate is chrome door handles. These chrome door handles will definitely have to be either painted by my paint guy or replaced. We'll have to figure out a way to eliminate all chrome. Chrome is definitely not my thing. Lots of brake dust on these. I sprayed it off, but I didn't get down and wipe this off yet. But I said we're going to get rid of the wheel anyway, so not really a huge concern to me. Lots of nicks in the pinstripe. Lots of weird paint problems. Here's another mark, and here's another mark. It's just, you know, black cars are the worst of anything for showing marks and scratches, stuff like that. But this one, along the edges of these doors, lots of unhappy people in malls where this car was in the past, because it looks like they have hit lots of vehicles. There's a dent right here. Not too bad. This piece of weather stripping, you can see it's dry rotted and falling off, so we'll have to replace that. So when you open the doors, when you start to see what I think is the car's biggest problem, these rocker panels are just absolutely maybe one of the most roached out things I've ever seen on a car this new. I mean, I don't know how well you can see that, hopefully you can, but this rocker panel, and it's like this on both sides, is just basically going to have to be completely replaced. If you can see here, I mean, there's a huge piece just completely missing. It's actually crazy how much this car is rusted for a 2008 with 75,000 miles. It's actually so bad here underneath too that this, look at that rust coming out. This step on the side, I'm having a senior moment, I can't think what to call it. So the step is actually not completely connected because the rust is so bad. Anyway, moving on to maybe the worst part of this vehicle, the tailgate. This tailgate, much worse than the hood. It's just crazy. I mean, you know, I don't want to completely blame Ford because I don't know the history of this vehicle. Maybe it was in a wreck and somebody went back and fixed this stuff. That would surprise me if it was, because there was nothing on the Carfax, and it's hard to hide that stuff these days. Maybe somebody just went back and repaired it incorrectly, but this is insane how much paint has fallen off of here. And you know, even where it hasn't fallen off, it's bubbled up. And if you know anything about aluminum, this is a problem these things have. This kind of deterioration, I don't even know what you call it. It grows, it's not rust. I mean, aluminum doesn't rust, but it deteriorates right on top of the aluminum under the paint and kind of, you know, makes it look like it has a rash. It just pushes it up. But you see, this is pretty serious. And I like to tell people that I'm the used car whisperer and I can find great deals, but you know, when you find a great deal, sometimes there's a reason. It's just a matter of, are you willing to deal with it or not? Is it worth it to you to fix it? And on this vehicle, I determined it is worth it for me to fix this. To get this truck with 75,000 miles for $8,000. Still, even though I'm gonna have to do some painting, this is just a crazy good deal still, I think. But this is definitely its worst side. This is a pretty crazy. You know, this is far beyond anything I've ever seen on such a new vehicle. Obviously had to be not taken care of for it to deteriorate like that. I'm going to open these back doors up and show you in here too. I'm on the passenger side now, but it's not inconsistent. More of the same. You can see that's completely rusted out. Luckily the step on this side, it must not be as badly rusted because it is not loose like that one is. But just look at this rust. It is crazy. And you know, I'm not the type to just try to hide something or not fix it. So look at that. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Look at the rust just by moving my foot down there that I took off. I mean, it's, sorry Ford, but this has got to be one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen. I dig the truck, but this is just absolutely crazy. So like I was saying, I'm not one to fix stuff cheap or try not to fix stuff. So this is going to have to, these rocker panels are going to have to be completely replaced. I mean, there's no hiding or repairing that would be anything up to my standards. That's just, it really is beyond anything I've ever seen. And to be fair to the seller, he made me very aware of it before I bought it, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. He had sent me pictures and told me that the deterioration was very strange. And he didn't really have a reason. You know, look at the rust where I kicked it off. That's just crazy. And like I was saying too, this brake caliper actually is replaced already. I already had a little bit of work done to it. The brakes weren't functioning correctly, so before I made my first video, it actually got one new brake caliper and some other work done. Like every light was on. It was basically a Christmas tree. You know, it had the ABS light and check engine light and everything, but the repair cost, considering, you know, how poorly it's been taken care of, was really not as bad as it could have been. And we'll review those invoices going forward as we get this project rocking and rolling. But let's take a look inside. As we get inside the Expedition, a lot of my complaints calm down, because the inside is much better condition. The inside of this vehicle was obviously well taken care of. We'll look around here. Go ahead and start it up so we don't have to listen to that. Like I told you, I did have some repairs done already, so I won't pretend that every light in this thing wasn't on when I got it. But now you see they're all off. Thankfully, mechanically, I think we're actually in pretty good shape now after a little bit of spending. Just give you a quick look around the car. This is an XLT, so it's the basic version. While it does have a lot of options, it was not like a fancy one. It wasn't a Platinum or an Eddie Bauer or anything like that. It's got the cruise control here on the steering wheel. And the pedals are adjustable. This is the adjustment for the lights inside. The headlight switch, pretty much like every Ford. It is rear-wheel drive. It's interesting in this Ford, which I haven't really seen. I haven't owned a lot of Fords, but it has 2 high, 4 automatic, 4 high, and 4 low. That's actually pretty cool, I think, for wintertime. Somebody committed a crime and put this, you know, I don't know. This radio couldn't have cost more than $2 or $3. It's a really, really huge piece of crap. It doesn't sound terrible, surprisingly, but I mean, it's a Boss radio. I've never owned one before, and if you're a big Boss fan, Big Boss, not the wrestler, the stereo. If you're a Big Boss fan, I apologize, but my taste and status just won't allow me to leave this Boss radio in here. It's already bothering me. It is the coveted, very popular BV9564BI multimedia player with 7-inch widescreen, and it says it's 85 watts and 4 channels, and it is terrible, folks. It is terrible. It likes to just randomly just start changing the channel, and it won't stop. It gets like stuck on scan. I have no idea what causes that. I don't think the Bluetooth actually works on it. I tried to link it to my phone just so I would have a connection while I was waiting to go ahead and replace this, but I couldn't get that to work. The great feature here, obviously this was probably owned by an elderly person. They installed a stylus put on there with Velcro, and even has a nice little string that goes behind to keep it here. But you know, if you need to change the channels on your stereo, you don't have to use your fingers like a normal person. You know, this very high-tech vehicle features this stylus, so you know, we can Velcro it right on here when we're not using it, and when we need it, you can take it right off of here with the wonder of Velcro. We can click buttons, which I actually think is more difficult than using your finger, which is kind of comical. You got the controls for the tripometer and the computer up here. The traction control button, hazard lights. Got the controls for the rear heat and AC here, and also the fan. This is a mystery switch. This looks like a little light that does not work. I can't figure out how to get it to work, at least. And I'd say this mystery switch possibly controlled that light at some point, but it's either dead or whatever it actually did control is disconnected, because I've looked all around the vehicle and that light does not do anything. Nice big glove compartment in here. The positive side, the carpets and the seats in this thing are very clean. The headliner is very clean. There are a few little spots right here, but it doesn't look like anything that I won't be able to get out. Oh, I don't want to miss also, this Boss radio has this terrific remote control. I never really understood the concept of remote controls for car stereos when the stereo is, you know, so close within arm's length. I'm not sure why you would need a remote control, but nonetheless, this one has it. Up here on top, once again, I don't think these came like this. This guy obviously pulled these old lights out of here and put LEDs, and they do look kind of cool at night, but as you can see, they're failing too. Some of these nodes are not working. We have a sunglass holder like I've seen in many Fords. My Ford Flex also had that, but this is pretty cool. Ah, looky there. This is a mirror to watch your kiddos in the back or whoever you're monitoring. Kind of funny, but could be useful. I don't know. I mean, it gives you I don't know if you can see it there in my camera, but it gives you a really clear view of what's going on in the back. You know, you can keep a really close eye on what's happening back there, and that folds up when you're not using it. I'm not sure why this has strings around it. It doesn't feel like it's falling apart or anything, but these are an extra feature. That is lighted. Look around here a little more. It does have pockets here in the doors, nice and big. They also feature a cup holder, which I think is kind of cool. I do have my gun in there, so you know not to F with me. There's also cup holders here. I forgot to pull that out. This is a weird thing I don't really love. If I do make this my everyday driving vehicle, I may try to find one of the old school consoles that sits down here on the hump and has cup holders and stuff. You know, one that's heavy enough it doesn't move around, but just gives that a more permanent spot instead of using those pop-out cup holders. Not really crazy about those. Once again, everything's very clean back here, good to go. It's going to need some minor cleaning, but the interior condition, I mean, out of 10, I would rate it like a 7. I mean, you can see on the back of this seat, somebody's put a dirty hand up there, and there's a little bit of darkness here, but this all just looks like, you know, uncleaned filth to me. It doesn't look like anything is stained, nothing's torn, nothing's ripped. Sorry, my laptop's in the way here, but just giving you a look here at the seats. There's a little dirt right there on the side of this one, a little bit there, a little bit of spots up here on the headliner, but overall, it's very, very manageable. I don't think we're going to have a problem getting it clean. I would say when we get this cleaned up, this will be a 10 out of 10 interior. In the back, it does have the third row seats. They are folded down, and I haven't actually folded them up, so I don't even really know how to do it. Let's go this way and see if we can figure it out. There's a handle right here. That's not it. Oh, that's what that's for. That folds flat. Let's see here. Well, that seems very hard to do. I don't know if I'm just weak. This is latched. Let's go to the side. Maybe it'll be easier if I have a little shorter reach. Pretty cool. You pop these things and that goes down. The whole seat goes down like this. If I can get a little better leverage from this side. There we go. Okay. First thing I noticed looking at this third row seat compared to other ones I've had, really nice high off the ground. A lot of the ones I've had, the third row seat sits really low. You can see this has, I guess for the wheel wells, this bump here, and then the seat is on top of that. So if you have long legs, I mean, as far as the third row seat is concerned, other than my Excursion that had a huge, crazy back seat, that's pretty impressive for a third row seat. I mean, you can comfortably take 8 people in this, and actually, if you were really in a pinch, since this folds up and it has a bench seat here, you could really hold 9 people in here if you were in a pinch, without anybody sitting on laps. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, just to show you the back with the seat up, not a ton of space back here once you put that seat up, but not terrible. I mean, it's still usable. And I always hate these third row headrests. It's kind of cool if you want to leave this up or down. You've got a couple options there. If they fold down so easily. One of the last vehicles I had, I don't even remember which one it was, but you had to take, I think it was a Wrangler, you know, when you adjusted these back seats, that was just the second row, that wasn't even a third row. You know, when you put these down, you actually had to take these stupid ass headrests all the way off, so it was completely just a pain in the butt. Really cool too, I think, that this second row seat is broken into 3 pieces that fold. So, you know, depending on what you're doing, that just gives you a lot of options. And if you wanted to put this down and slide something up the middle and still have people sit on both sides, you know, if you were on a weekend trip to Lowe's or something, I mean, I think that's an unusual feature. And I wonder, I'll have to do some further research on this thing and look at it. I wonder if that middle seat is even removable, so that this would be more like a captain's chair. Captain's chairs, you know, where we could take that middle seat out all the way if it was, you know, more comfortable for whoever was riding in the back here and made it easier to get in and out of the third row. Oh yes. Oh look, we found some old French fries underneath this seat. Oh man, that is pretty gross. So stand by for French fry cleanup. And yeah, I believe you can probably take this middle piece all the way out. So you could have a captain's chair, it looks like, and the only difference would be you would have, you know, the hardware on the floor. It looks to me like this can be taken all the way out, so that's pretty cool. So you could have captain's chairs and then the third row. And you know, if you had kids that were using it all the time, they wouldn't have to do this weird false seat, you know, fold it up like this to get in and out. We could just utilize that tunnel through the center. So that's pretty cool. I'm impressed by that. That's something I didn't even know. I cleaned up the fries, threw them out here. We'll hold a little contest for those if you'd like a memento from this video if I become big. If you want to enter to win these fries, what I'll do is I'll enter anyone to win who likes my video, subscribes, and all right, anyway, we're gonna call it a video. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. I will keep you updated on what's happening with the expedition. It is actually taking a trip to Morgantown today. It is going to a buddy of mine, Tim Hartley, the owner of Hartley and Sons Painting. It's on Fairchance Road out by Cheat Lake in the Morgantown, Mon County area. So it's got a little trek today, but hopefully it's gonna come back really, really updated cosmetically and looking way better. And we'll be on our way to making this a super cool car that either is going to become my daily driver or may become a flip. Either way, even though there's a lot of issues, I'm very excited about this project and I look forward to sharing what happens with it with you. All right, Hoopty fans, I'm walking back around the building here. I hope you enjoyed today's updates and I hope to have more content ready for you soon. I'm also going to do another video talking about the Beetle. The Beetle hasn't premiered on the channel yet, but the Beetle is actually further along than the rest of these projects because it was something that I was already working on when I decided to start this channel. So as soon as I get some editing done, you'll get bonus content, I guess, the Beetle. All right, thank you very much, guys. Have a nice day.